All right, welcome back to BridgewaterEagles.com. We're here with football coach Mike Clark again. Bridgewater coming off a loss to Gettysburg, heading into Greensboro. Coach, we won't dwell on it too much, but Gettysburg had a lot of success with some of the read option and the run game. It wasn't a surprise. We knew going in what to expect. So just what happened exactly defensively?
I mean, we got to dwell on it some, and certainly that was a game. I got to take the accountability for that. We've had a great run here in terms of opening game records since 2000. I mean, I put a team on the field that really wasn't ready to play at a lot of levels. It wasn't just our defense. We didn't help us on the offensive side of the ball. We didn't do anything in the kicking game to make up ground. On the defensive side of the ball, when you don't tackle, it really doesn't matter what your scheme is. I think the challenge we're going to face is we are going to simplify the scheme to a certain extent. The injury factor is going to put us in a tough position at linebacker a little bit, and we have to play to what people can do. Our defensive line still has a chance to be good. I honestly believe that, and we got to try to play to strengths and hide weaknesses as we go into week 2 with the idea we need to be a better tackling football team. By the same token, from an offensive point of view, you can't have 251 yards and 51 yards rushing. Put your defense on the field for 33 minutes against a very good quarterback against Gettysburg and expect the bottom line to be very good. So to try to pick and choose who was the problem, I was the problem. We all were the problem, and it was a very disappointing Saturday. It was a long 48 hours. Somebody made the comment, they said they wish that lightning delay just would have continued. And, I sincerely told them, I said, no, I'm glad it didn't continue because I found something out last Saturday. Last Friday, I wouldn't have want to found out this Saturday, and we've had to try to have a week to try to correct it and move on.
Now, you did emphasize, in your interviews after the game, you emphasized in the newspaper this week that, your team goals are still there for you. Luckily, you don't have a conference game until October 3rd. There's a bye week coming up as well. So just, what does the team have to do over the next few weeks to sort of get where they need to be?
Well, I think you got to find out. We got to make sure, can we get the right players in the right position? I don't think there's any question. We got to score points. On the offensive side of the ball, we got to establish a running game. You can't go out there and be a one-fisted fighter and expect to beat good teams, from an offensive point of view. And I think we call it the preseason. Now, don't get me wrong, these games matter. We want to win them very badly. But I think we use this time to work things out. And there's no question after that game that there's things that have to be worked out individually and there's things that have to be worked out collectively. But I think our team has a good attitude this week. Greensboro has a similar problem. They got beat bad last week too by a very good football team, and we got to go on the road and play a fast team and what can be of a difficult environment. Anyway, it's been played at Greensboro. It's a tough place. You got to be self-motivated when you walk into that stadium to play, and I'm excited about the challenge. I hope our kids are too. Good thing about this business, you're always one Saturday away from being smart again, and that's what we're going to try to be.
All right, well, transitioning to that Greensboro game, looking at the two deep, one of the youngest teams I've seen in a while. I think half of the list was freshmen, 6 freshmen starting on defense, 3 on offense, I believe, along with kicker and punter. Just talk about Greensboro a little bit, what we can expect from that team this weekend.
Yeah, I think Greensboro, this will be the 4th year we've played them. They're always a team. They're a transition team. Retention has been an issue with them. They're always a very athletic team. They're going to give us great speed, so we're going to have to tackle it well. Actually, their quarterback was a kid we recruited very hard about 4 years ago, and Matt Graham ended up at Greensboro. That's another story how he got there after trying to play Division I baseball for a season. But I do think at this stage in the game, so much of the focus this week really has been on Bridgewater. Greensboro has the competition, but Bridgewater has the things that we have to correct within our own system, and really that's been kind of the focus. Whether we're playing Greensboro or whether we're playing a rated team that won a big game. I don't think it matters going much into week 1 to week 2. That's where teams need to show the most improvement, and that'll be our challenge. I think our plan is to go down on the road, simplify some things. We got to play harder offensively, and we just got to be sound and tackle on defense.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck this weekend, and as always, we'll be back next week, recap the game, talk about Apprentice, our next home game, next Saturday night. Thanks.
Well, I think we got to keep a tight focus. You jump on and you can't overanalyze what happened a week ago. It was a thing we got to take accountability for. You got to take ownership of bad things sometime in this business. But the thing is, we got to have a tight focus. We're a team. I don't care who we're playing. We could be playing a group of old nuns, and we're going to have to fight our butt off in the fourth quarter and make plays to win. But the bottom line is, if you do win, people forget the details, and that's got to be our mindset week after week after week, regardless of the opponent.
All right, check BridgewaterEagles.com for live stats links for this weekend and coverage links, including video streaming for next weekend.